Hello everyone, thanks for subscribing my channel at the first place. This is the small announcement on the new Azure batch which I'm planning to start from 18th of August. Let me quickly share the details for the same. So I'll go to my blog here, okay, and I'll refer to the latest blog over here, right? So as I mentioned, I'm planning to start a new batch from 18th of August. And the timing is morning 8 o'clock IST to 9:30. I'm planning for 1.5 hour session where we are planning to cover off administration as well as the DevOps along with the Terraform and a little bit of architect knowledge. So we're trying from a multiple directions, but major focus is on 104 and 400, right? So initial few demos are free. You can join by clicking this link simply and then join the free initial demos. And then if this training program is really suits for your next career path, you can continue with the regular sessions, right? So the fees, as mentioned here, it's going to be 18,000 if you go with the two installments. And if at all, if you're going for a single payment, and it's going to be 14,000. All right. So I would need, since it is 1.5 hour session regularly, so I would need at least 40 days of time, which would be around the 60 to 65 hours of overall program that I can cover off in 1.5 month roughly, right? And you can join the WhatsApp group, what I've mentioned here, right? So for collaboration with the other students and with me, so it'll be helpful for technical discussions. Now, there are a few demos that are mentioned over here in the channel. Also, you can find some play books, right? So in the channel, you will find these videos. You can refer them for the previous old demo sessions what I have conducted, right? So in case if you're joining through a meeting link through WebEx, you can use this password 4 zeros for a demo session, right? And let me quickly share the course content for the same. If I go back to Azure, right? So we'll start off with the basic computing understanding, cloud computing understanding, and then we primarily focusing on networking here, and then network security group and network security using firewall and Azure virtual machines, storage and backup and disaster recovery. And then we will jump on to the PaaS. Up to section 7, it is going to be a complete infrastructure as a service modules. Right? And then we jump on to the PaaS databases, PaaS application, security using Azure Enter ID, and then microservices application development and deployment using the Docker and the Kubernetes. When it comes to Kubernetes, we primarily focus on AKS, right? And then implementing the day-to-day solutioning and then runbooks, automations, and disaster configurations. And then automation using PowerShell and CLI. That is something we cover off here. Then we talk about day-to-day operation perspective, the monitoring, alerting, dashboards, and the queries and other stuff, right? At this point, and then we'll talk about the solutioning. When it comes to solutioning, where we're going to talk about the high availability solutioning standpoint, the networking components or the advanced networking services, and also we're going to inject the Terraform over here. Meaning, we from the section 14 onwards, we focus on solution designing, we focus on automation using Terraform, we focus on deployment and end-to-end solution and try to test it out. So section 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 essentially talks about high availability solution design, deployment, testing, and also utilize the Terraform during this part. Okay, then on the section 19, we're going to talk about auto scaling, which is how you can deploy scalable solutions using Azure. That is something we focus here. Then we talk about the migration projects. So the requirements are a little reduced when you compare with the last couple of years in the current year. But however, if someone is already actively working on the migration, somebody want to understand how the migration works, and then what are the FinOps related things that you will perform as part of the migration due diligence and all, we primarily focus over here. Then We talk about Azure governance and security management and policies and stuff, how you can implement them as per the customer security standard baselines, and then the governance policies, how you will enforce them to maintain utmost security to your customer environment, right? And then coming to an automation standpoint, these automations are already inbuilt or incorporated from section 14 onwards, right? So additionally, we will try to cover off the ARM templates or image builder templates using Packer, or maybe Azure image builder template. Image template is a service within Azure. Also, we will not focus much on the ARM. Instead of that, we try with the bicep in this training, right? And then we move on to the Azure DevOps, where we primarily focusing on infrastructure deployment and application deployment, how we can set up the pipelines using YAML end-to-end application lifecycle, how you will manage it using the self-hosted or Azure managed hosted and self-hosted agents, and how you will integrate the third-party services like SonarQube and other security aspects within the pipeline. So those things we cover off here in the Azure DevOps, and then we talk about the day-to-day operations and what are the services that you handle as part of the admin, as part of the DevOps engineering, as part of the solution architect, right? So that is something we focus at the end. Okay, so this is the overall course content what I'm going to cover up. With that, you'll be able to crack 104, and with additional hands-on, you can go for Azure DevOps certification as well, right? So as I mentioned, the course is going to start from 18th of August, and you can simply join the link in the description, and then you can attend the free demos, right? So thank you, and I'll see you on the demo day. Thank you, guys.